start streaming to the YouTube channel that was formerly known as the Big Amateur Telescope and unfortunately is now known as Astro Biscuit Discord community. There we go, we're streaming, we're live. Thank you everyone for coming. I've got a video coming out this Saturday and I'm expecting to get quite a lot of traffic from it to the server, and at the end of it I mention for the first time publicly that the bat is now doing WIDEFIELD stuff. And essentially I've changed just this week, inspired actually by Jen, because last week I couldn't do the bat meeting. I think Jen and who else was here? Oh, Jen hasn't got a mic on. Jen and a couple of others. Who else?
Me, So Real, and someone else.
You, So Real, and someone else.
Space Cadet.
Space Cadet from Australia. Okay, awesome. I know. Was it Mr. Crazy Physicist as well? Because you.
He was there.
Anyway. All right, you three. But there was something that Mr. Crazy Physicist had shot, which was an asteroid going in front of M33, I think. And the three of you got chatting, and you knew that we were after bat targets. And I couldn't make it last week because I had spent the day in the hospital and everything's fine. And it wasn't me, it was my daughter, and she's totally fine. But anyway, I couldn't make it. And you came up with a target, and it just got me thinking, you know, wouldn't it be a great idea if people could choose their targets? If there was a way where we can make it so that BAT members could actually choose the targets, right? And that, combined with the fact that we're opening the BAT out now to wide field and regular imaging, I decided that in this week to just reconfigure the BAT, okay? So there's two things I'm going to talk about. One is the new potential targets that we can shoot, and the second is how we're going to choose targets. And I'm really glad to see the bat mods who are here and the mod mods who are here, because in a way this is kind of like me describing a vision and you guys thinking it works or doesn't work, whatever, and we'll at least get an understanding of how the bat is going to progress, right? In time for Saturday, when I drop a video, and I suspect a whole load more people are going to descend upon us, all right? So, I don't want to take up the whole of the meeting chatting about this, and maybe before I delve in to the new bat 2, what we're doing, maybe I just throw it open to Hatman. Do you want to say something about your variable nebula before I go into a long rant?
Yeah, sorry, I had a mouthful of food there.
Oh, well, I can come back to you if you want.
No, I'm good. I've since swallowed.
I need to refresh myself as well, so this is good timing.
And it's always so hard to see you with the beverage. It's noon here in Southern California, and that's just too early for me.
But can I just note that there's no ice cubes? I ran out of ice cubes. So I suspect by the end of this chat, because I am such a lightweight, you know, I'm probably going to be a little bit, I don't know. Well, we'll see.
I believe. Go on,
anyway.
So yeah, I mean, we've been getting some really great data. I'm going to mispronounce his name. Regilogi is what it says in my head, but I'm sure that's wrong. He's been submitting a lot of good.
He's here.
Yeah.
Reg Logi.
Oh.
Are you going to say hello? That would be great.
Sure can. Hi guys.
Hey, thank you for doing some variable nebula stuff.
Yeah,
fantastic.
It's really fun. I'm always kind of unsure whether the data is good enough because my scope is rather small, but it seems to work well.
What scope have you got?
It's like a 4.5-inch refractor.
So really good, a sort of Apo 4.5 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, interestingly, when we did Lucky Imaging, actually one of the sharpest scopes is a 6-inch refractor. So the small aperture, if you've got good optics, will beat the wobble in the atmosphere, which is fantastic. Anyway, sorry, Hatmanju, I butted in.
No, not at all. And then Mr. Crazy Physicist has been doing some processing, as has So Real. So there's a video that So Real has put together of processing techniques. So anybody that's interested in processing can kind of use that as a starting point. And then Mr. Crazy Physicist has done some, good processing that really shows the ripples. I mean, it's
awesome.
We have ripple. So
do you mean light ripple rather than shadow?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. That is spectacular. Sorry.
Well, hold on. I don't know what you mean by light ripple versus shadow. It definitely looks like the waves of light moving along the length of the...
And are they kind of spherical in shape, or is it like a sort of movement one way, or a little sort of dark patch moving across?
Yeah, they look like ripples in a pond.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
If you go to the variable Nebula channel, it's like maybe 3 posts ago. It's on the kind of first page that you can see.
I mean, that's fantastic. I'm just going to very quickly show on my web page the just so people who this is can you see that in detail? You might not be able to see it, but that's Hubble's variable nebula, right? And it's rippling. That's light ripples moving across. It takes a really good setup to get that, and I used like a 50 centimeter fat telescope remote. So I am well impressed that you are able to get those get the ripples. So there's there isn't any. I guess there's not any big shadows moving across, because if you're able to get the ripples when the shadows happen, it will be very, very obvious if you're pulling that kind of resolution. So I think there was a little bit of a shadow earlier on, wasn't there, a couple of weeks ago? But presumably that's gone now.
I didn't know that there were 2 types of moving artifacts. I thought there was just the kind of pond ripple shadow that moves along in kind of concentric circles. So I'll have to take a look to see that, because I had only understood there to be 1 type of artifact.
Okay, so on my screen, if you ignore the sun on the left, there's quite a small... I wonder if I can make it bigger. Sorry, my skills of... I can't... Anyway, on the right here, I don't know, can you see my cursor? That's dark shadows moving across. That's the shadows, right? Moving across.
Yeah, no, we're seeing ripples. Not... it's...
So the ripples, I don't know if you can see them, the ripples are going out from the star through the nebula there. But it's much harder to get the ripples anyway. Well done. If it does kick off, then we're in a really great place to catch it from beginning to end. And you just don't know when it's going to happen. It could happen at any moment.
And it's been great. We've been able to have people imaging once or twice a week, and so it's been nice. Even when I had clouds, we had others contributing, and there's been a couple that have been contributing pretty regularly. So it's really, so far, don't want to jinx it, but so far it's been great. We've had a good stream of data.
Awesome. Well done, sir. Okay. Any other... Sorry, is that good for you, Hatmanju? Shall I move on to the next thing?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Yeah, all good.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Before I go into BAT 2, the new BAT, please, any more BAT mods want to say anything before big long biscuit waffle occurs? Okay, big long biscuit waffle is about to happen. So, I'll just run through it quick. What's happened to the Big Amateur Telescope just in the last couple of days? Please bear in mind, I haven't spent hours I have spent hours doing this, but it's like, it is, in all honesty, quite a rushed job, being as work is pretty full on at the moment. Anyway, I have a new welcome video. Watch this first. I've called the channel Bat Welcome rather than Watch This First. So it's our #1 channel. When people arrive this weekend, they'll see this first. I deliver a 10-minute monologue, would you believe? Almost without any cuts. It's gone too big. I'm basically up on my roof. And what I say, and it's worth you all watching this, but I'll try and condense it down into 60 seconds, is that we are now open for business to people who have got scopes that are wide field. There's a little scope there in the background. And wide field is like somewhere between 12 degrees and, I don't know, 6 degrees field of view, something like that. So we're ready for people with little trackers and DSLRs or astro cameras to join in with the bat. So we're going to have wide field targets. I then go on to say we're going to have regular targets for folks with regular scopes. One of the things, and I think actually Ricky, who's here, mentioned it to me a few weeks ago, was that, you know, a lot of this lucky imaging stuff relies on having a pretty big focal length on your scope, right? In order to beat the atmosphere, you really need to be 1 arc second per pixel, right? And most people aren't. So I go on to say, and we're open for regular images. So that's your sort of 80mm refractor on a EQ5 or, you know, 100mm refractor or 150mm newt, something like that. It's kind of like your middle ground for astro imagers. We're open for business to those guys as well. I then go on to say that if you've got a really good scope, we'd also do high resolution imaging. And I'm kind of changing the name from lucky imaging to high resolution imaging. I don't think I'm going to talk about the reasons for that. I'll really quickly mention the reasons for that. The reasons for that is that we actually need lucky imaging and normal imaging to get a decent shot at the moment because lucky imaging is so noisy. So I'm just calling it high resolution imaging. And in order to be a high resolution imager, a lucky imager, I think you guys who are high resolution imagers are currently called lucky imagers, you have to jump over a hurdle. It's the same hurdle. You need to have a scope that has a blurriness on your stars of less than 3 arc seconds, right? Full width half maximum on your stars. Okay, so those are the three main groups of targets that we've got. I then go on to mention that we've also got variable nebula, which is super exciting. I then further mentioned, and this is an idea from Jimmy the Chicken, although I'm not sure he's going to be joining in actually, we're going to have a new solar channel as well for people who want to do solar imaging. And the reason is basically I'm going to do a video about solar, and sometimes the sun kicks off, it goes absolutely nutbar, and either it's cloudy here or the sun's about to go down and I can't see how the coronal mass ejection or whatever, if that happens, is progressing. So I thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to have a group of people on hand who are able to solar image, who can get, you know, such a thing, and we can shoot it, you know, if we have people around the world. Excuse me. Oh, that's the Moscow Mule. If we have people around the world, then we can actually catch stuff happening on the sun over longer periods of time. Okay, so up until now, we've really been sort of focusing on the high resolution stuff. And it's sort of been that the guys with the DSLRs and the smaller telescopes haven't really fully contributed to that, and have possibly felt a bit left out, and the quality of the data hasn't matched the really good big scopes. So now we've got wide field, which Stefan is leading up, regular, as well as the high resolution stuff, as well as variable and solar. Solar is new. Who's going to lead the solar team? I don't know yet. It hasn't been sorted out. I haven't even made a channel for solar. Okay, so that's what the intro meeting says, essentially. And it goes on to ask people to very kindly, if they're buying Astro gear, to use my links. which, yeah, you can see some links there. Basically, if you click on those links, then I'll get a commission. If you click on those links and then buy an item, and within 10 days I'll get a commission. And what that's going to mean is that because currently I'm not quite making ends meet, so I'm having to work, but I prefer to be making videos than working. So and the bat also takes up quite a lot of my time. So if I can make a bit of money from the bat, then it means hopefully one day I won't actually have to work at all. I can properly concentrate on things. It would be awesome. That's the welcome video. Then I've jigged around the BAS exam is as it is, always has been. The BAS exam works well. There's the BAS exam. Paul 1962 is our latest person to join. And then I've got the instructions channel. So this instructions channel, I wrote it last night between 10 and 11 p.m. So there's probably, I think actually, So Real has already spotted I spelt dissent wrong. Or decent. I spelt decent. Anyway, there's going to be loads of mistakes in here. I really just bish-boshed it out. Now, So Real is going to do a video about the instructions as well. He's already started on it. One of the mistakes that we made when we first set out was loads of people arrived from one of my videos. They didn't really know what to do. So we're hoping to get all this stuff sorted out by Saturday so that when people land and they join the bat, they can go through the instructions. The instructions basically tell you how to shoot a bat target. And shooting a bat target means basically go to the bat target channel, shoot the target, check the reference frame, upload the data, Bob's your uncle. I'm not going to go on about it too much here unless we get questions about it. I'm guessing most people have been here for a while, so they know the score. I'm also guessing when new people arrive, they're going to have loads of questions. I'm really hoping you'll be able to help them out. So I explained briefly how we go about shooting a target. I explained super briefly about processing a bat target. Basically, I say we've got a download folder. Oh, you might notice that we've lost the upload and download channels because the upload and download links are all now in the bat targets. That's where every target should have an upload and download link associated with it, right? And then what else do I go on to say in the instructions? Then I go on to something that's new, choosing a target. All right, so this is kind of maybe what this meeting is going to be mostly discussing. So I have, in my ignorance, but hoping to try and do the right thing, I've made a channel called Target Selection, which you'll see on your left. In fact, I might as well just go through it now. Target Selection, right? And here, we've already got 2 folks who have suggested targets. The idea, right, is that you guys have your scopes, you know what your focal length is, right? And you choose a target that you're really keen to see. Now with the wide field and the regular images, if you get one of your targets accepted, you know, presumably we've got the power of the bat behind it. We can gather an enormous amount of photons and we can see super deep. We can see dust lanes and nebula incredibly deeply. And it should result in an amazing image. And if your target is selected to be an official bat target, then you are more than welcome to share your target. In fact, I want you to share your target and say, hey, look what I did with a bit of help from the bat, all over the place. Print off posters of it, put them on your wall, whatever you want. To get your target accepted, you first need to suggest it in this target selection channel, right? So repeatedly captures M31 has suggested a very difficult target here. And below, what have we got? Space Cadet. Carina Nebula. Well, that's a classic. So I'll just have a click and see what that looks like. And he's produced, yeah, I mean, wow. So Now, to be accepted, you need to get 4 other BAT members interested. The number 4 has been picked out of a hat. I have no idea what the real number is, but we're starting off with 4. If you can tempt 4 people to join you, and basically, if they just well, I'll do it now. We every target, one of us mods is going to start a thread for that target. So, I can't do it. Above there's a thread for UGC 8058 with 8 messages on it. Awesome. So people have been chatting away about it. And once you have 4 people who are interested in shooting that target, one of the mods, and this is something I'm telling the mods for the first time right now, we need to, whoever it is, so this chap, repeatedly captures M31 is going to give us a bit of a kick, and we'll go, oh yeah, look, you've got 4 people, and then we need to work with them to get that target as one of the BAT targets. So it needs to have an upload data folder, a download data folder, and a reference image for people to align their stacks to, right? And ideally, whoever has repeatedly captures M31 would be the person finding the reference image. We can give them permission to create the folder on so that they can, is my Google folder essentially, can create a folder on my Google folder which they can link to here in the BAT target so everyone can have a go at it. It would be good to say, at the top, it's a wide field target, or a regular target, or a high resolution target, so people get a sense, very quickly get an idea of whether it's something they could capture. And I think I'm about to open the floor out to see what people think of how this could possibly work. But I'm just going to run through if there's anything else on the instructions. Oh, the instructions also, and we haven't ironed this out, we're still doing registering your scope. We still want members to register their scope. If it's not ironed out and newbies arrive, please tell them to register their scope. Please tell them that it's an amazing job that the BAT mods do in that channel, sorting out collimation issues and stuff, and that they need to get above 3 arc seconds if they want to have access to the high resolution. So the high resolution stuff, there's a separate channel that only opens up to you if you achieve that 3 arc second. By the way, I'm also thinking of having these things called reaction rolls, which is basically they're little like emojis, and it'll be and the reaction rolls will go something like this: hi guys, if you're interested in variable Nebula, please click this emoji, and people will click it, and then the variable Nebula channel will open up. Hey guys, if you're interested in solar, please click the solar emoji, and we'll have a little emoji of the sun, and then the solar channel will open up. And the high resolution channel only opens up to people who are at a certain level. And we could do that for wide field and regular as well. I just wanted to try and think of ways of not having too many channels here. And I'm pretty sure that's everything that is my ramble nearly over. You may have survived it, people, which is amazing. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan. I'm just going to open it up to people, see what they think. We need to get it all sort of locked down. I'm probably going to be getting it locked down on Saturday because I'm going to be busy till then. The new video goes out on Saturday 9 a.m. So we'll have people arriving from then, I would imagine.
One thing I'd like to call out is some way to call targets that aren't getting traction, because you can get 4 people to, say yes to something, and then they go about their busy lives. And for example, right now, even the Southern Hemisphere variable Nebula target, we have no data on it, and I don't know if we have active contributors. And so, what would be the process for dropping ones that don't get activity?
Yeah, so Southern Variable Nebula, we did actually try for a bit, but we don't have enough. We didn't have enough images at the time, and that should probably be cut. I would say let's see how it goes. One of the things is our numbers have dropped partly because I haven't been pushing the bat recently, and partly because we haven't had any targets, and partly because we haven't had targets that people with smaller scopes, who are the majority of our members, have been able to shoot, partly because of clouds. And let's just be hopeful that we get a lot more people coming through the gate after next Saturday. And at the end of the day, if some targets are more popular than others, then so be it, you know. Maybe we do. Maybe after a couple of weeks, maybe after a couple of weeks, if no one's posted anything, we remove them. It's particularly if we've got lots and lots of targets.
Yeah, as long as you have a sponsor, like one of the four as the moderator for that target listed, then you can always ask them, and if they stop answering your emails, then you can drop it.
Yeah, and also that sponsor should be shooting it as well themselves.
Yeah.
And one of the ideas is that one of the things that Discord is good at is people chatting with each other, and I've made friends here, right? So I want other people to have that opportunity, and one of the ways of doing that is to get more interaction. And I'm hoping that if people are invested in their own target, they're gonna maybe, and you will have to, I'm sure, you'll have to sort of knock on a few doors and say, hey, what do you think about this? And you know, maybe in the server at Wide. Just FYI, we've got more than 500 nerds on the server at Wide, and all of them are now eligible to join the BAT because all of them are able to take an astrophoto, and you know, so we can go and we can spread our wings and start dragging people in from further afield. It's all about finding people who have got targets that they're keen to shoot and keen to get really good. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, what can we do? But I think it stands as good a shot of working as anything. I don't know. You can tell me now.
I agree. I think you're right. I think that if it becomes a problem and we have 50 targets that are getting no traction, then we solve the problem when we get there. And if we have 10, then that's great.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a great group of people. We've got there's like a core group with some really talented astrophotographers who are really keen, really nice. And this is opening it out to people who aren't, you know, so people who aren't quite as good can be more involved. And that, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. We'll just have to see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be good.
I think we can put target limits on it. So like we choose a target limit like 10 targets, and every month we can refresh it and see where is the minimum of posts, and that will be eliminated and put a new one on it.
Yes, we could do. I mean, I think this is going to be a great problem to have if we have loads of people shooting. If we have loads of targets, I wonder. You know, my initial worry is: are we going to have enough people actually submitting targets and finding 4 people to second them? I think at the moment, I don't know. It depends how many people we can get motivated. I think possibly when the wave of new people arrive. It might be the opposite. It might be just kick bollock scramble and a little bit chaotic. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, you need to know your stuff to get a good target that other people are going to be interested in. So it'll be interesting. And actually, I'm really looking forward to seeing what people come up with. There's so many things that are just less well known because they're dim, and we can get them. So it'll be really interesting. If it works. Anyone else got anything to say?
I don't think a month's long enough. I think you've got to take into consideration that most of us have got rubbish weather.
Yeah, I've had literally, it's like 2 days a month, isn't it, for us, Jen, I think?
Yeah. And so some people can't always see the target at that, like the variable Nebula is still out of my reach.
Yeah.
but we'll be in it at some point.
I gotta say, the weather is just
Longer.
so crap, isn't it, in the UK?
Yeah.
In autumn, I was so looking forward to it getting dark, and it's just been proper pants. Anyway. Okay. So, does everyone think this is a good idea? Does anyone think this is a good idea?
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Good. Is everyone ready for having people who possibly, might be slightly annoying arriving? We've got a nice clan without people who are like, because sometimes you get people who, they don't really know very much, and they. Anyway, we'll find out. We'll deal with them.
I do have a question. When people are selecting their targets, is there any website or software out there that can tell you the altitude of that target? So you're not shooting at 20 or 15 degrees. Somebody might see a nice object, go, hey, yeah, let's do that one, but they don't realise it's 10 degrees.
Telescopius tells you that, I'm pretty sure.
Does it?
Yep. And
Yeah,
Stellarium. They all do, don't
Stellarium
they?
does work as
Not,
well.
not now, but in time, in the future. So we can say, right, we can do that, but not now.
Well, in that case, I would say Stellarium.
Yeah, I mean,
Tells you
essentially,
for your location. It tells you
Just
what
wind it forward
altitude
on the
it has.
base.
lots
And
of
Telescopius has a button where you can see where it peaks throughout the year, and so even though it's not going to necessarily tell you exactly, hour by hour through the year, you can kind of see where the best yearly is. Or again, yeah, somebody mentioned Stellarium does that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for then.
essentially, we're looking for the more experienced members to push the less experienced members in the right direction with information like it's not up yet or it's better in February and stuff like that. Yeah,
Which is kind of why I showed that graph to that lad in the channel you showed earlier, where somebody created a thread for a target. I showed him that chart, and he said, "What's that?"
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I saw.
That's why I put it there, just to sort of say,
Yeah.
look, it's not very high yet.
Because there's people who are just starting out are full of beans, and that's brilliant, but they haven't been battered down with all the things that cock up actually being able to try and shoot something like it's not actually in this night sky at this time of year. So we just need to, 'twas ever thus. We just have to manage it, and I think it's up to the more experienced people to help out with that.
That's cool. No, I can do that.
By the way, So Real is going to do an instruction video. And Paul, I was wondering, in fact, whether your instruction video should come in the instruction channel. Because I can compress it down to less than 100 megabits. And we could have it as an actual instruction video on the instruction channel. Anyway, that's just by the by. As well as having it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a thought. So yes. Any more questions about how this is? Does anyone have any? If we don't have any more questions about how this is going to work, but maybe we do. Yes.
Are there any news on the website that we wanted to have?
Website's gone quiet, not completely silent, but Dog McDogface, I spoke to him like 3 weeks ago, and he was going to show me the website the next day, but he's been busy and I've been busy and we haven't. I am I've started doing things on my. It actually helps me quite a lot to have people come to my website. So I'm going to I've already got a page that talks about the variable nebula on the website. I've got a page that talks about lucky imaging theory. I've got a page that talks about the best scopes and cameras that we've got for lucky imaging, based actually on data that we've got from the BAT of people's actual scopes. I've also got a page about the Big Amis Telescope in general. I'm thinking of having another page which is basically instructions on my
You might
website.
also want to include one with links to software they can use, like for example Stellarium or websites like Telescopius.
Yes.
I think that would be really good for everyone to have.
I wonder
all of these.
whether actually I could, perhaps if any of the bat mods are interested in having admin access to my website, just to sort of, if they are, it's a Wix website, so I don't know, you probably don't know how to use it. It's fairly easy to use, but I'd certainly be willing to give access to people who want to coagulate a whole bunch of useful stuff for the bat on a web page of mine. You all give me the information. It's just that I'm very busy all the time right now. So finding it just takes time, that's all. As everything does, and I know you're all working as well. But if anyone's willing to do it, then please give me a shout. Yeah.
I've got some experience in Wix.
Ooh, okay. Well, Ricky.
So I'm happy to help if you want.
I nominate Ricky.
Yeah.
Seconded.
Yes, I second it. Ricky, you're now a bat mod. I'm going to make you a bat mod, and if you're able to chat to the fellow bat mods and find out bits of information that they think will be useful to get on the website, like the stuff that Alex was talking about. Alex's name is Paranoid Ninja here. Then that would be awesome. And
I think there's a lot to be said for having the right information on there, like software and stuff like that. It's to try and get, like, when the new guys descend on the server, it's having them not dependent on the experience of us, like kind of pointing them towards the basic stuff that we all had to find out for ourselves, kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. Wicked, Ricky. That would be brilliant. Excellent. Can do something with that. Awesome. And we're also going to be putting a link to Paul's at So Real's instruction YouTube video as well. So that sounds great. So I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know how big my video is going to go that I'm dropping on Saturday. The people who it's aimed at are lower level, like beginners. That's what the video is aimed at. But it's a really fun video, surprisingly actually, fun video. And I suspect most Biscuit fans will end up watching it. And I suspect most of them won't realise that the Big Amis Telescope is open for business for people who don't have big scopes. So hopefully we'll get quite a lot of people in. And last time, the first time I did it was off the back of a really big video. We just didn't have any of this stuff set up. So people arrived, it was like a fly hitting a wall. It was like, okay, it didn't work. We didn't sort of invite them in and nurture them along. Because it was just all, I hadn't got my bad mods, for instance, and now we've got a great team of bat mods for a start. Okay, I'll shut up and I will leave a bit of space for someone to ask a question. Or perhaps discuss a target.
It's a tough crowd, isn't it?
It's a tough crowd.
So M33, I've got to go to target selection, yeah?
Yeah.
M33, and it's basically a regular target, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What else have I got to get hold of?
Well, the first thing to do is probably just post a picture of it and say, I really want to shoot this. It's a regular target. And then cajole people who you know, Jen, to say, yeah, I want to shoot it as well. We actually will start a thread. So at the moment in target selection, there's only one thread, UGC 8058. Now, probably one of the moderators should, in fact... Oh, Space Cadet's done it already. He's started the thread for that one. I don't know why it's not appearing on my screen. I've got weird stuff going on, but it is. So Space Cadet's NGC2362 is now its own thread as well. So that's what you do to begin with. You suggest the target. I mean, to be honest, I'm making this up as I go along. You suggest the target, you get 4 people who are interested to shooting it, you kick one of the bat mods up the bum, and they make it into an official bat target. So now it's about you trying to get people to agree to your target, or asking them, or hopefully some of them will just be perusing and will be like, oh yeah, I'd like to shoot that. And they need to say, so if anyone here wants to shoot M33 with Jen, you need to say she needs to pop it in that target selection. One of us mods or Jen, in fact, needs to start a thread called M33, and you guys need to go, hey Jen, I'm on for this, and there we go. Bob's your uncle. 4 people saying they want to do it. It becomes an official bat target.
Thinking also this is probably a more accessible target to your newbies.
Aye.
It's one of my favourites, actually.
And it also would be benefit from the real depth that we're going to be able to get if we can manage to get lots of people to shoot it as well. It's quite a faint little wispy one, isn't it? So yeah. Alrighty. Anyone else? Bat mods. You've all got to think of something to say because I'm going to pounce on you now. Like, remember when you're at school and you don't know the answer to a question? And the teacher's like going to ask you the question. That's happening right now. And Ben Spacey Snaps, how you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Yeah.
So, how are things in Exeter?
Things are good, yeah. Getting quite busy with university stuff, which is why I haven't been around too much, but it's all good, yeah.
Good.
The weather's pretty shit, but bad word.
Yeah.
It's not great here.
Do you have anything that you want to say, or shall I pick another victim?
In terms of the bat, not particularly. I mean, I think all of the changes that we're kind of implementing right now seem really good. Seem like it's
cool.
going to help out.
Cool. Good. Dazza, Astro Nerd, you're not an official bat member. How are you doing?
All good. All good. How are you?
I'm okay. I've just finished my Moscow Mule,
good.
so I'm feeling good. Have you anything that you want to add?
Only to the point, I think it's very, very positive that things have opened up for the majority of scope sizes. I think it will encompass a broad spectrum.
Yeah, and now we can get everyone on the server to come along and have a go, and hopefully it'll provide more interaction. So I would, if you Dazza or anyone here is perusing the Deep Space channel and they happen to see someone's been shooting something that is a bat target, say to them, hey, that's one of the bat targets. Why don't you upload your data to help, and we'll see, they'll find it really useful. And just get that whole kind of people connecting with each other thing, which I think, in essence, is what this server is going to do best, really. We could try and be like the best astrophotographers in the world, and some of us will be. But I think it has to be fun, and one of the things that makes this hobby fun is essentially that most of us are actually, almost all of us are really nice. That's one of the most surprising things. And I can just have a chat with almost anyone about geeky stuff, and it's quite nice. So I want to try and get those connections going if possible. Okay, I'm going to pick on. So, is anyone in Australia willing to talk, or is it too early? Space Cadet, you've got your mic off. Are you able to speak, or is it just still too early? Really? He can't.
He say he was actually listening to.
Oh yeah, because he's on
in his car.
Yeah, he had his mic off.
He's on
It
the way to
confused
work,
me.
isn't he?
He's on his way. Enjoy work today, Space Cadet. Ryan's here as well. I haven't seen Ryan for a while, but his mic's on. Just got to be gentle. Alex, Stalker Alex, how you doing? Are you able to talk?
Which one, me?
No, other Alex.
Or you mean Stalker? Okay.
Stalker in brackets, Alex. He's turned his mic off, but is he going to speak?
I can talk, but I might sound pretty rubbish.
Oh, Ryan's
Sounds
here.
okay to me.
That didn't sound like Stalker. Stalker's not. I can't hear you, Stalker. Your moment is gone. Ryan, are you back? Are you back at all?
I am.
Oh, awesome! How lovely to hear your voice again. So,
One thing is that technically, now that you're opening it up to the smaller scopes, this could kind of lead into, through Register Your Rig, we've already figured out what are kind of the better large telescopes. It could be part of a follow-up video if you wanted for the best small telescopes.
absolutely, yes. That is one of the brilliant things about Register Your Rig. We're not being paid by any companies. We get actual data from actual telescopes, and it tells us very simply how sharp they are. It also tells us a few other things that Ryan knows about because he's clever, like correction and stuff. But yeah, that would be amazing for the ultimate video, about the ultimate YouTube video, which is these are the best scopes. Please use my affiliate links to buy them. Video. Yes, that would be an awesome video. Anyway, really nice to hear you, sir. Is it like 8:45 in the morning?
Yeah, 7:45.
Well, look, lovely to have you back. I hope you'll be around a bit after this weekend. Don't worry if you're not, but I am expecting things to get a bit bigger here.
Sure.
So, I'm
My
gonna.
mic works now. Sorry about that.
Hey, Stalker, how you doing?
Doing good. Busy as always. I'm sure we all are.
So just remind me, whereabouts are you? Is it Arizona?
Yeah, I'm in Phoenix. In Arizona.
Phoenix, yeah. Okay, cool. And have you been able to do any imaging lately?
Yeah, monsoon season's done. It's starting to clear up pretty well. So I've been getting the scopes out and using them.
Have you tried doing Hubble's Variable Nebula?
I did one night, but I just haven't had a chance to look at the data yet, and I'm hoping to do some more.
Cool. Alrighty, so that's me. I am in saying hello to people that I haven't said hello to for a while mode. That's possibly slightly boring. I'll just say hello to one more, Endolf. Endolf.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Just suffering, like you said, with rubbish weather at the moment.
Yeah, it's been pants, isn't it?
Second camera. It was the beginning of September. I've managed to use it once since then.
I've got a camera as well, bought by lovely people. I have managed to use it a couple of times, but not for lucky imaging, because it's never for lucky imaging, which is what I intended to use it for. It's the it just, with the few clear nights we've had, the seeing has been pretty bad, annoyingly. Yeah, it's pretty depressing, isn't it? I'm just, before I forget, stop this. Sorry, mate, is there anything that you want to say about what we're doing before I just try to pick on one more person?
No, I think it's all positive. I think some more people involved, if we can get some more targets going and some more momentum around it, it's all positive, isn't it?
Excellent. Yes, good. Well, it seems like the feedback's really good. Now, there is one chap here called Michael D, who is here every week and has never said anything. He's got his microphone locked, and I'm just wondering, Michael, are you able to speak? Are we able to hear your voice, or are you forever with a mic? Are you like, maybe you're flying an aeroplane or something? I don't know, and you can't talk right now. This is your moment, though, sir. Okay, no. Hey, I tell you what I'm realising is that Moscow Mule has certainly gone to my head, isn't it? I'm just obviously being a complete idiot. So, shall we knock it on the head and get on with the rest of our lives now? Does anyone have anything else that they want to say before I call this meeting to an end?
I just think we have to bring the people to be more interacting and to help the new guys coming in to take good shots. That's one important thing.
Yes, it will need a certain measure of patience and understanding for some of the new guys. And I think we've got that. And I think we're going to be really helpful. Also, by the way, as well as a new video going out after next week, I'm going to start processing some of the data that we've got, and hopefully we can all share it on Twitter and whatever. And that will also bring more people to the bat. And I haven't been able to do that for literally 2 months, just because of just being too busy. But yes, thanks, Mick. That's a very good, and yeah, that's what's going to make this channel, so this community so nice, is the fact that we're going to help people out. All right, that's it. I'm stopping the stream. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Oh, go on.
So the people, the regular people who aren't part of this bat thing, can they see what these bat targets are?
No, they have to become a bat member. Oh, and by the way, if a nerd, just bat mods, if a nerd pops their head, or actually anyone, if any nerd wants to join, then any moderator or bat moderator can just instantly make them a bat member. We know if they're a nerd that they're already qualify for this. So if you come across someone and say, oh, I can't be bothered to do the bat exam, just say, dude, you're a nerd, and give them the role straight off the bat.
I don't think every nerd is actually pliable to be a bat member. Actually. Some of the nerds don't have tracking mounts or similar stuff like this. Like, I think we agreed that having a tripod and a camera is not qualifying to be in the bat member thing, right?
Oh, really?
No, not since we have the wide field target. Even having a camera would be
I'm
not.
still requiring people to have a tracking mount for these. I'm not gonna accept data that is
true.
Not tracking mount, because it's just, in my opinion, that tripod and a camera is not good enough for these targets because they're very difficult and faint. It's just not gonna work.
Okay, so there might be 1 or 2 nerds who don't have a tracking mount who achieve nerd status through some strange reason, or because they did something really amazing without a tracking mount. And those people are, I'd actually be quite happy for them to join and just see what's up and help process stuff. But on the whole, nerds should be able to join. It's not the end of the world if we get someone in the group who hasn't got a tracking mount. It just, the data that they produce won't be usable. It's just as simple as just not choosing their data when we stack the stack. Yeah, it's just not a big deal. It's we try and be more inclusive than exclusive. Yeah.
Is it mentioned somewhere that if you choose a target and you've got to get the 4 other people with you to do that target, is it mentioned somewhere that they should then take ownership of it, take images of it and champion it?
It might be. I can't remember. Depends what I wrote in instructions last night. I can have a quick look. I've
got 4. Can I have an upload folder, please?
Jen's got 4 already. Well done, Jen.
I've included you on that, so real.
You what?
I've included you on that.
Are you going to shoot M33, Paul?
I've already done 2 nights this week on it, so.
I think you qualify then. So instructions, it needs to be that the person takes ownership, and do I say it? I say no. So that's maybe something to include in the video, Paul. And I need to.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Yeah. In fact, just really while we're here and being as no one else is, people, please feel free to go while me and Paul just chat about this. I'm talking about particulars. I wonder whether, Paul, we should move test my scope up to underneath instructions, so that when people arrive, they come to the welcome video, they take the BAT exam, they read the instructions, and the instructions tell them the next thing to do is register their scope. So they can register their scope and then test their scope. And then the next thing to do would be the BAT targets, I guess. And the next
That's why I mentioned it to you, because I thought, hang on a minute. Well, then when I did the video, I was flicking backwards and forwards through the different sections.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll move test my scope up earlier. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining and listening to the big rant. And we'll see you next week and how well the video does, and how many more people come.
I'll just ask if Hatmanju, Stefan, and anyone else interested in doing that M33 can meet me in, I don't know, another chat room. If you've got 5 minutes.
Sure, I can do.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, maybe you could actually, Jen. Maybe you could just do it here. I'm going to stop the stream now.
All right, I'll do it here.